Afternoon. This is Ian Gonzalez, and joining me again is my brother Lucas Gonzalez. How are you doing, Lucas?
I'm doing fine. Thanks, Ian.
And tonight I'm going to be discussing a newly found species of monkey, which is called the snub-nosed monkey. Now, this monkey's its scientific name is the Rhinopithecus strykeri. And this particular monkey is considered an old world ape.
What defines an old world ape?
Now, an old world ape is what an old world ape is that it has ancestors that were native to Africa and Asia. Now, old world apes are usually arboreal, which means that they live in trees, and they don't have the prehensile tail. That means that their tail doesn't have the grasping features that are usually seen in monkeys in South America. Now, the snub-nosed monkey inhabits a range from southern China and the northern portions of Vietnam and Myanmar. They're located in the mountains, which are approximately 4,000 meters in height, and they move to lower elevations in the winter months.
Why do these apes move to lower elevations during that time, Ian?
Well, they move to these lower elevations most likely because of the cold. Up at the higher peaks, it gets very cold, so they have to move to the lower elevations where it's warmer and more beneficial for them to live. Now, the article that I researched concerning the snub-nosed ape discusses the first discovery of these apes, which is relatively recent. It was found by an international team of primatologists, which was headed by a field biologist named Nguyen Luen of Myanmar Biodiversity and Nature Conservation Association. It was actually first discovered by hunters in the region, who noted the difference between normal monkeys with their nostrils pointing upward and the lips being rather large. Now, this group was first documented and reported their existence in the scientific community in the American Journal of Primatology.
What do the apes look like?
Well, the snub-nosed monkey usually has blackish fur with white tufts around their ears and chin, and it also has a relatively long tail. But remember, it's not prehensile, so it doesn't do any sort of grasping. It's not like an additional appendage. Now, specifically, and this is why they're called the snub-nosed monkey, is they have their nostrils. Their noses are pointed somewhat upwards. It's kind of flat against their face instead of having a snout. And they also have the large lips, as mentioned before. Now, this is not actually a new species. It's a newly discovered species. The locals have been aware of their existence for quite some time. The locals specifically not document, but they report that these monkeys tend to sneeze when it rains. This is because the water drops in their nasal cavities. So, what the monkeys usually do is they sit in a particular way, and they tuck their head between their knees or away from the sky, allowing them to breathe regularly and not sneeze from the water.
Why weren't these apes discovered until now?
Well, the reason why the apes haven't been discovered previous to this is because they live near rivers and have a really small population. They're bands of like 260 to 330 individuals, which is a large group, but these populations are very sparse. Now, because of their very low population, it's these apes these monkeys are considered critically endangered. Because they are penned in between two rivers, the Mekong and the Swalween rivers, scientists haven't really come across the apes in this area, and that's why they're not very they haven't been properly documented. Now, these apes, when they are found, they're found in large colonies, which consists of more males than females. In addition, these apes have been known to locals to have a certain calling system. Sometimes they call in solo, the males, and other cases they have a unified call system, kind of like a choir. The diet of the snub-nosed monkey is that tend to consume tree needles, bamboo buds, fruits, and leaves. Um, and due to their multi-chambered stomach, they can properly digest these plant foods. In addition, their birthing process, the gestation period is around 200 days, and they become fully mature at age 6 to 7. Um, okay, I think I'm going to open it up to the discussion portion of this program. First of all, Lucas, one of the most striking features of the snub-nosed monkey is that it has a somewhat upturned nose. Its nostrils are sort of opened and pointed upwards. What do you think the adaptation would be? Why would they have developed this? Because this is not typical of other monkeys.
Well, my guess would be that it sort of helps them receive more oxygen at a time, because maybe they're very active and maybe they need a lot of oxygen in order to do their daily, doings. Maybe that's possible because they might have a high metabolic rate. Also, as we mentioned before, they live high in the mountains and where the oxygen levels are much lower. So it would make sense that they would have much larger nasal cavities to draw in oxygen easier. It also might be possible that it might help them in olfaction. They might be able to take up sense of smell easier. Perhaps for the purposes of territory or for marking their territory or smelling predators or prey. What about their large lips? I'm not sure why they would have that either. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Okay, let's see here. Large lips. Does that also lead to a large mouth, or is it about the same size mouth?
I look at the picture. It looks like their mouths are about the same size as normal monkeys. It's possible that like how birds have certain crests. They can attract a mate that way. It's possible that the large lips allow them to attract mates. What do you think?
I would have to say that it's possible, because I know very little about these monkeys.
That's okay. That's fair enough. But I'm just looking in terms of other organisms, and this is just speculation because again, these are new monkeys. We have very little go on. They also participate in sort of rhythmic calling or choir calling. Maybe the lips allow them to shape these different sounds when they're performing their calls. I mean, what do you think about that?
Yes, and I also now have another reason as to why they might have these larger or upward pointed noses.
All right, give it to me.
As the common human hums and such, you got a nose, and sorry, it maybe that in some way also helps their singing nature.
Maybe it could be the flow from the nose. The airflow from their nose allows them to affect their calling system. It could be, and again, that would relate back to the mates as well. So, I think that's a pretty interesting thought. But anyway, thank you for discussing this with me. I'm glad to have you here.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, and I'll be talking to you next time.